On my social media, I received a question from somebody who asked, I am setting goals, but I just don't seem to get anywhere with them. I give up on them. I don't achieve them and I give up on them. What am I doing wrong? Do I even bother setting goals? Seems like a waste of time. Well, if you're setting fantasies and not true objectives, that's exactly how you're going to end up. If I was to have a goal to be in a relationship with somebody who is one-sided, nice, never mean, kind, never cruel, positive, never negative, peaceful, never wrathful, generous, never stingy, one-sided, I wouldn't obtain it because there's no such thing as a human being that's one-sided. If I set a goal that's one-sided, that has all upsides, no downsides, and have a fantasy by definition, uh, I'm not going to obtain it. I'll be searching for that which is unavailable, and I'll be trying to avoid that which is unavoidable. So I'm not interested in pursuing a one-sided objective, a one-sided fantasy, better said. If you are setting a goal and you confuse a goal with a fantasy of one-sidedness or something that's low on your values, because if you set a goal that's anything that's not highest on your values, you decrease the probability of pursuing it. You're only spontaneously inspired and committed to going and fulfilling things that are really, really valuable to you. And when you do, your blood glucose and oxygen goes into the forebrain, and there's where you set objectives. Objectives are neutral and balanced oriented, not one-sided. So if you're setting a fantasy of one-sidedness and then wondering why you're not getting anywhere, and it's low on your values because you're in your lower values and you're in your amygdala and you're wanting to avoid pain and seek pleasure and wanting a one-sided world, you're not going to obtain it. You're also not going to sustain focus on it. It's futile. And it's designed to be futile because it's trying to get you to set real objectives according to real priorities that are balanced. That's the difference. Your executive center in the forebrain, which lights up and wakes up when you're living by your highest priority, it automatically sets a real objective. It's designed to mitigate the risk, to solve the problems, to think out what could be the downsides of this objective, and to prepare and see both sides and embrace both sides in the pursuit. And if you don't embrace both sides, then you don't really have a real objective. You have a fantasy, and fantasies don't come true. Fantasies are fantasies. And so you end up, if you set a goal that's a fantasy and not a real objective, of course it's not going to come true, and you're only going to end up losing energy on it because it's low in priority and it's an amygdala drive instead of an executive drive. When you have an executive drive, you're spontaneously inspired from within, you persevere, you're patient, you go after things that have real objectives that can be obtained. And so every time you're setting a fantasy, you're designed to not achieve it, to make pain associated with the fantasy, to set a real objective. So it's not that you want to give up on goals. You want to give up on fantasies and stop setting fantasies that don't align with your highest values and don't have both sides. And therefore you're setting up a fantasy that, the world's going to have peace without war. The world's going to be, people are going to be kind without cruel or nice without mean. These are delusions that people have that are immature, that they're living in their amygdala, that don't understand how human behavior works. Everybody has a set of values. You support their values. They're nice as a pussycat. You challenge them. They're mean as a tiger. They're not one-sided. And if you set a one-sided fantasy, you're going to have defeat. That's why the Buddha said, the desire for that which is unobtainable and the desire to avoid that which is unavoidable is the source of human suffering. So set real goals in real objectives that have balanced orientation, that align with your highest values, and make sure it's something you're certain about according to what your values. Go on my value determination process online and go fill out the thing and the process, the questions, and identify what's really important to you, and don't waste your time on things that aren't really truly important, that you're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve, and you embrace it and set a real objective that's balanced and embrace both sides of it instead of looking for one-sided fantasies. And then you'll achieve. Then you'll set goals that come true, and then you won't be asking the question anymore. So, hope that helps you. Set real objectives according to real priorities, highest priorities, real things that you embrace the pain and pleasure in the pursuit of, and watch how you will achieve your goals. Any great goal is worth that achievement, and it's worth embracing the pain and pleasure in the pursuit of it.